It happens all the time. People come to Paris with a great itinerary full of wonderful things for them to do, but they don't have a plan about what they're gonna do with souvenirs. And they go home with a suitcase full of stuff wondering, what the heck did I do? So today, we're gonna show you exactly what to buy in France, where to buy it, and which streets to walk past without stopping. And we're gonna cover these categories: food, kitchen, beauty, books, art and vintage, fashion, plus specific neighborhoods where locals actually do their shopping. But before we do that, we're gonna tell you about places you should absolutely avoid. Allez, on y va. There are 3 types of stores in Paris that are designed specifically to separate tourists from their money.
Yeah.
And they're hiding in plain sight.
So I guess the first one would be the Champs-Élysées. I don't know a single Parisian in my lifetime that actually goes shopping on the Champs-Élysées. They are 100% tourist oriented and mostly in the luxury goods, even the cafes. I mean, if you just stop for a Coke, it's a $30 Coke or, I mean, it's just outrageous prices. So it's kind of like this avenue that, you know, we all have on our bucket list to visit, but there's really not much shopping to do for anyone there.
Yeah, this is an iconic spot from the old days, but it's one of the busiest places for tourists, and it's not necessarily the safest place because all the opportunists know that the people who are going there are tourists with money. Take that in stride. If you go there, guard your stuff, walk through, and shop somewhere else.
Another place that I know is all the discount fragrance shops that you have around the opera. All of these stores are, again, designed for, you know, the tourist that is shopping there, and you're going to be paying exorbitant pricing for something that you could get for a fraction of that cost if you know where to go. And we're going to cover that in a minute.
Yeah, that's that Ooh La La, Eau de France, Eau de Paris perfume thing. Temper yourself a little bit so you can get the best stuff at a better price.
Yeah. Now, another place that actually is surprising is the airport duty free. I mean, this is fine for liquor, but anything else in there is really marked up in the wrong directions. Like all the fragrance will be easily 20 to 30% more expensive than what you would buy in Paris. You're walking into the airport and you're like, holy crap, I just forgot that person. So it's great as an emergency situation, but usually this is a place that you want to avoid outside of a bottle of liquor.
Yeah. And of course, there are streets that are specifically designed to just sell you garbage. And those are going to be near the touristic spots.
Yeah,
you know?
The famous one is from the Unwary metro station to Montmartre. It's lined up with tourist shop. They all sell the same stuff. It's all made not in France.
Yeah. You know, I love New York. I love LA. I love
London,
Paris.
I
Just
love Paris,
transfer the name of the city and it's the same stuff.
At the base of the Eiffel Tower also, you have all these vendors that are selling the cheap little Eiffel Tower.
You have guys that literally will lay out a sheet and just fill it with hats and Eiffel Towers. But what happens is when a cop shows up, they'll fold them up and walk
leave because
away.
it's all illegal.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't support illegal activity. I mean, I feel bad for these guys because they need to make a living, but it's not the right way.
Another one is Rue de la Hochette, that's right by Notre Dame. You know, like
Place Saint-Michel.
Yeah, Rue Saint-Andrés des Arts is very nice and stuff. But they're a great place to walk through. Just don't count on spending your money there. So now that you know what to skip, let's talk about the easiest, the cheapest, and the most underrated places to buy souvenirs in Paris. One of the places that a lot of people in the know like to do their souvenir shopping is in pharmacies.
Yeah.
And the number of people that we know that ask us to bring stuff from the pharmacy when we go back to the States is growing more and more every day.
Yeah, they want us to bring shampoos and lotions and hand cream and sunscreen. And people tend to gravitate towards some pharmacies that are getting a lot of coverage on Instagram and TikToks and all that. But the reality is that every pharmacy pretty much carries all those products. A pharmacy, you just walk in, you grab a product, and you may have 2-3 people in front of you, but that's that.
And one of the big reasons why souvenirs from pharmacies is a big deal is the cost. So you have better quality, better prices. This is a good place to get souvenirs.
Now, we recently made a deal with Pharmacie Monge in the Latin Quarter at the Monge Metro station, and they will give 10% discount to any of our fans as long as they bring the QR code that we're going to put in the description. You bring that, and you will get a 10% discount. And They will handle your VAT tax return, tax return. So that's really awesome. So take advantage of that. Now the next one are the food souvenirs, and it's usually the thing that we do when we go back to the States, because we know that if we bring that kind of chocolate or that kind of butter or that kind of sweet treats, that the people on the other side are going to be ecstatic about. But you have to know what to buy, where to buy it, and exactly what is going to survive the trip back home. So let's first talk about the cheese and the butter, because oftentimes like people ask us, is this, can you bring back the cheese and the butter and everything? And for legal reasons, I have to tell you that no, you're not allowed to bring back stuff that is unpasteurized.
There's two different places. If you want to be 100% sure, you can look at the customs website, but also look at the USDA. But you're going to find your answer in there if you need a definite rule about it, because a lot of people break the rules.
The butter and the cheese and the saucisson, the little dry sausage, those are the ones that usually get caught. And the way you actually get caught is they have dogs. And we know
The dog would rather find the sausage than the weed.
Exactly, yeah, this is what happens. Now, a lot of people bypass that with having vacuum sealed, and most of the shops in Paris will offer vacuum sealing for that exact purpose. Just make sure it's vacuum sealed and don't take a ton of it, because, if you get caught,
It's a $10,000 fine.
it is, but most of the time what they do is they just destroy it. They put it in the garbage in front of you, and it's heartbreaking.
But there is a lot of other stuff. There's the cookies, the chocolates, the tins of foie gras. Like, there are a lot of things in the epiceries that you can buy.
So what about chocolate?
For chocolate, I just buy it and take it in my carry-on.
Right. So there is a La Mère de Famille.
Yeah.
La Mère de Famille will give you some chocolate. There is actually, I believe, 14 stores around Paris. This is what we call the run-of-the-mill chocolate.
Yeah.
The way it's presented with the little bag, the little box, I think you will impress, I'll say 99% of your friends. Co-workers, even family members. La Mère de Famille, it's very French. Now, if you want excellent chocolate, Jacques Genin.
Jacques Genin is excellent. It's very expensive. But good chocolate here is very expensive.
And I think the place in the middle is Richard Chocolatier.
Yeah.
They have amazing macarons. It's not super expensive chocolate. It's really good chocolate at an affordable price.
Yeah, we did a whole video about chocolates, actually.
Right. There is another place. It's also the Galerie Lafayette. Across the street from the main stores, there's the food court. So you can get all kinds of delicacies that you can buy, and salts, specialty salts.
The flavored salts in France are insane. If you want food souvenirs, go to a grocery store, go to the Monoprix and buy cookies, and they have beautiful little tins that are just as cute as the food that's in them.
Yeah, actually, this is what we go for our kids, because our kids wants to bring back that cookie, that chocolate bar, those candies that we'll find in the Monoprix, and that makes our kids happier than if we went to any fancy store. And we cannot talk about food shopping without actually talking about La Grande Épicerie. It's an amazing food store, very high end for Paris. The regular Parisians like us, we don't go shopping in there every day. No. It's very expensive, but they'll have all the goodies that you'll be looking for in one single location.
Yeah, like truffle stuff or tapenades, different honeys, salts. Wrap your head around
and then you can do a little
mustard.
pit stop in the pastry shop and then just buy a little pastry for you. When you're in Paris and Google, search épicerie near me, and that will lead you to food shops. Those are the ones that have all those specialty oils and canned goods and all the stuff you're looking for.
Yeah.
All right, so now we talked about food, and next we're going to talk about where you can buy stuff for the kitchen, because that is another huge item that people go shopping in Paris for.
Walking around Paris and finding cute little shops that have something lovely in the window is a great way to do it. But if you know that you're looking for something for your kitchen, there's 3 main stores that I like to go to, and they're all around Les Halles, like in a little triangle around Les Halles. So there is the Dilleren, which was Julia Child's favorite spot. You're going to go there, you get gadgets, knives, pans, and things.
And this is a professional chef.
Top of the line, serious in the kitchen people go there. Then there is the Brut de la Cuisine. They have a little bit of foods and teas and stuff too, but this is little gadgets that you can use in your kitchen. And I'm not talking about appliances, cute little things that you can use all around the house, adorable stuff.
Yeah.
And then the third one is A. Simon, which is all about baking. It's more
Right.
specific to baking. Those are my three favorites. But you know, the thing about buying these kinds of things is every time you use it at home, it'll bring you back to a memory of your time here in
Yeah,
Paris.
for sure.
A good idea.
Yeah.
So the most classic thing around Paris as you're walking along the Seine is those little green boxes that are selling fabulous stuff.
Yeah.
These are the bouquinistes.
The bouquiniste, yeah. It's a Parisian tradition. All those bouquinistes are independent owners.
Yep.
You're supporting a small business
local
owner.
business.
So this is a great place where you'll find tons of gems. We bought posters from them and books.
I
And
mean, it's so iconic.
yeah. There's also Shakespeare.
Shakespeare almost always has lines. So
Yeah.
you have to bear that in mind if you're planning to go there. It's a great little store. They have a reading room upstairs, you know, a lot of little stuff, but there is a guard at the door who's letting a certain number in at a time.
You'll most likely have to wait in line for Shakespeare.
And another great place that you can find books and postcards and the kinds of things you might find in a bouquiniste is in the covered passages. The covered passages is a very specific thing, and we did a whole video about that.
Right.
But this was the beginning of shopping in public. There are no corporate stores inside of the covered passages. You know, you're going to find all kinds of cool stuff, little things to ferret out.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about the museum gift shops. Because in the U.S., I would never go there if I was looking for souvenirs because they're, you know, very fancy and overpriced.
Right.
But in France, this is a really good option.
It really is. So you have the big three, le Louvre,
Yeah.
Musée d'Orsay,
Yeah,
and
and the
l'Orangerie.
Orangerie.
The Orangerie was actually really nice. And those stores have so much great options for you, puzzles, books, clothing, and all things that are
Dishes,
branded. Yeah,
all
dishes. It's
kinds of
really
stuff.
great places. You know, wait until you go to the museum before you go shopping because you may find some things there that are actually great that will answer all the needs that you have on your list.
And they're not overpriced here. It's,
No.
they're on par with any other decent store.
And one of the reasons why they're not overpriced is because most of those museums are actually state-owned. So that's why you're going to get good pricing in those museums. Another museum that actually is great, it's a museum at Giverny.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
That might be my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can buy tons of posters and cups.
Everything.
So there's a lot of things, like you're seeing a painting in a museum and you're like, well, I'd like to have a souvenir. And probably have it in the shop that you can actually buy a print of it and then frame it at home and have that as a remembrance of your trip.
A lot of people want to buy art when they're here.
Right.
There are places where you can buy art that are just Chinese knockoffs. They're,
Right.
you know, AI generated and then painted over and stuff.
You know, one of the places that would be careful is around Place du Théâtre. You know, in Montmartre is highly touristic, so it's actually far more expensive than it should be. Most of the artists that are on the square, they're independent artists, so these guys will do a decent, job. But those shops on top of the hill, and it's just really iffy at best.
If you're looking for something that is completely unique, only to you, then we're going to start talking about the vintage and antique shops.
Yeah, obviously, well, actually, it's obvious for us, but the place where you would want to go are all the covered passages that you have in Paris. Some will do leather binding, some will do glasses, some will do clothing and shoes, and also antique furniture and whatnot. All of these are independent.
Even individually high-quality berets, if you need a beret.
Yeah, absolutely.
Places like Passage Vivienne over
Yeah.
by the Palais Royal. You have Geoffroy, the Passage Panorama,
Yeah.
Passage du Cerf, like the whole series of them throughout the town.
But not all of them have vintage stuff. Some of them have mostly food, and some will have mostly antique. But they have their own flair, and I think it's a great way to spend an afternoon going from one passage to the other, especially if it's a rainy day. Well,
They're all covered.
They're covered, that's the whole idea behind that. Now, if you're looking for antique, pure antique shopping, there's literally a space in which is called Le Carré Saint-Germain, which is where all the antique shops are. Now, they're selling real antique stuff and a lot of very expensive vintage and antique furniture, but this is going to be the area. We're basically behind Musée d'Orsay.
Yep. And the other place that you're going to want to go is in some of the markets. Like,
Yeah.
I want to say Thursday, the Bourse market has all kinds of really cool stuff, tableware
Right.
and things. And of course, there are the flea markets at Saint Ouen and Vavin.
Yeah, the only thing about this one is it's a little bit of a sketchy neighborhood. I mean, you don't put the flea market in the nicest neighborhood. And then you have the one in Vanves, which is actually on the opposite side of Paris, which is actually preferred by a lot of people. They said they went to both, they said they prefer the one in Vanves.
Another category that I particularly like is buying souvenir clothing, because every time that I wear that outfit or that item, I'm going to have a great memory. If you're shopping and you want some, affordable regular stuff, the Monoprix is a great thing.
Yeah.
Think like Target, only high end. And this is a grocery store together with food.
Yeah.
It's a good place that you can get a lot of good stuff.
Another place is the fresh markets.
That's where I like to.
Shirts and pants and hats and scarves and all kinds of stuff. And I know every time we're there, Colleen will at least,
Have to look.
Yeah, you have to look. And oftentimes we'll leave with one item. But they're usually very affordable too, right?
They're
It's like-
very affordable and they're nice quality.
Colleen also did a video about vintage clothing shopping.
That's thrift shopping. Vintage is thrift shopping.
Right, it's jeans from the
ben oui.
1970s.
And then if you're looking for something a little bit more, wardrobe building, one of the super cool things about shopping for clothes in Paris is that most of the stores, you can have, a pants, shirt, jacket, scarf, dress, pantsuit, whatever. It just makes it really easy to mix and match.
So you'll find a lot of these stores in Paris that are very specialized in the hat, in the glove. In a previous video that we did about the things that you want to buy, there's the glove store, Akaba. You'll pay a little bit more. There's no question about it, right? But you'll have a quality product. You may have a pair of socks that's going to last you 10 years as opposed to, being gone in a year and a half.
And when you come back next year, you can get another one instead of having to replace last year.
Exactly. So everything we just covered is useless unless you know where to buy. So right now we're going to tell you exactly where to go.
Neighborhood by neighborhood.
One of the first neighborhood you might want to go in for shopping is Le Marais. It's probably going to be more like the bottom part of Le Marais, where you're going to have a lot of shops. One of the things that is great is on the weekend, they basically block car traffic, so it's mostly pedestrian, but a lot of independent shop owners, so glasses and clothes and shoes and ice cream shops and cafes and places where you can buy a crepe. So it's really a fun and lively place if you want to combine a little bit of food shopping and clothing. That's the flair of Le Marais. Next is the Saint-Germain neighborhood. A lot of antique shops.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of restaurants. It's actually the most expensive for real estate arrondissement in Paris.
Okay.
So the shopping usually goes with it in terms of food and clothing and whatnot.
household decor items.
A lot of household decor item if this is the type of stuff you want to buy. So that will be Saint-Germain. It's not a heavy shopping area, but it certainly has some.
What they have is top quality.
Exactly. Next is the Latin Quarter. You have Rue Mouffetard. So Rue Mouffetard, you have a lot of restaurants, but you also have like a bunch of little shops in there. But if you go to Place Monge, you're going to have amazing Pharmacie Monge.
Yeah. This is the Latin Quarter if you're going to find old classic stuff, like the classic Bonbon store.
Right.
Little funky stuff. This is where you're going to find the Pantheon, the Luxembourg Garden.
Yeah, the Jardin des Plantes.
The gladiator arenas of Paris.
Yeah. Next is Les Halles area. Now, what you have to know about Les Halles area, it's a very young, suburban type of environment, so a lot of vibrant and a lot of youth there. Let me just say, if you have teens, they'll be happy there, right? And if you have a Colleen that loves cooking, you can take her to the 3 shops that sell all the cooking wear that she's absolutely going to love. But this is not probably a place where you're going to want to hang, beyond that.
Yeah.
The next one is Rue de Rivoli. So I'm going to say from Place de la Bastille all the way to Place de la Concorde. That long street there, that street was the longest shopping street in the world, actually a century and a half ago. And you're going to find everything you want there, from clothing to books to
shoes,
furnitures and shoes.
Lingerie.
If you don't find what you need from Place de la Bastille to Place de la Concorde, you probably don't need it. Another one is around Place de la Madeleine.
Yes.
Now, Place de la Madeleine is going to be a little bit higher end. So it's right off the opera, but you'll have a lot of specialty store. Again, it's a very high-end area. It's the Fifth Avenue of Paris, kind of that feel where you have very high-end, but you'll have some stores that sell very high-end fine food and fine clothing.
And right by Rue Madeleine, like between Printemps and the Madeleine, there are some fabulous stores. This is where you're going to find the high quality socks and underwear.
Yeah.
But you're going to find really beautiful things in fashion. A lot of people who are coming here are looking to go home with a purse, like the souvenir purse that you bring.
Yeah.
You know, like you're going to carry that every day and think about Paris. Blue Lemon will give you a Le Frenchies discount.
Yeah, Blue Lemon will definitely mention the Frenchies and they'll give you a discount.
And the one that Antoine didn't mention, just in case you're looking for some jewelry. You can find stuff all around, but if you're here looking for a watch or a piece of beautiful jewelry, you need to go to Place Vendôme.
Yeah, Place Vendôme is the place where you will find a lot of amazing jewelry that I can't afford.
And if you're not looking to spend a whole bunch of money, there's always the flea market.
Yeah.
If you like this video about what to buy and where to buy it, next I would watch this video on 25 foods you need to try when you're here.